Welcome to the Humans and Earth podcast. We bring you inspiration and practical resources for healing our planet and ourselves. It is time for soulful contributions that regenerate life on Earth.
I'm Helen Claire Harmon, a thought leader and teacher who believes we're ready to renew Earth and heal ourselves in the process. Welcome to today's episode. Hi, I'm Helen Claire Harmon, and I am welcoming you to my new podcast, Humans and Earth. It is one of the offerings in the School for Humans and Earth, which is just opening. And I am beginning this podcast and also the School for Humans and Earth because I believe that now is the time for sacred co-creation between humans and the earth. We spent the 20th century in many ways learning to understand our human problems and our environmental problems, and that was a very important phase. We also came to understand in the 20th century, and we continue to understand, that human well-being is profoundly interconnected with the well-being of the natural world. Our thriving is interdependent. And when the earth is suffering, human well-being is suffering. We have so many examples of that, such as the effects of our fossil fuel revolution of the last century and the ways in which that has, of course, been empowering in a lot of ways for humanity. But as we create air pollution, for example, we damage our respiratory health. So we have now countless examples of how our well-being is intertwined with the earth's well-being is actually the same thing. When earth is suffering, humans are suffering. We have developed many practices and ideas for restoration and regeneration of the planet, her systems, and also our own well-being. And we've had some successes so far. What's also exciting is that I think a great majority of people who are alive today want to see the earth heal, recover, and flourish. And most of us know at some level that humans are never going to be okay if the planet is not okay. I believe we're at the beginning of a new era of healing and thriving and flourishing as we learn how to live responsibly on planet Earth, co-create with her, and regenerate her and ourselves. So that is the origin of this podcast. The Humans and Earth podcast will help you to find your way of participating in this exciting time. You may be someone who sometimes fears that the planet is going to collapse and humans right along with her, that we won't turn things around in time. Or maybe you believe that we probably will turn things around, or that even if humanity is not okay, Earth will be, but you're not sure what your role is in contributing to renewal. You may be experiencing uncertainty around your job or your career, possibly your health, possibly your own connection to the natural world and what that means, and what it means to co-create and collaborate with Earth. Another part of you probably believes and knows that it is not too late, and we are entering in a time of great possibility. Renewable energy is proliferating, and investment companies around the world are pulling out of fossil fuels. We are experimenting with ocean cleanup and coral reef repair. Countries such as the United Kingdom and Turkey and Kenya are engaging in very focused reforestation and forest rebuilding efforts. The holes in the ozone are healing. We are creating ever more sustainable buildings, and even buildings that have regenerative capacities, the ability to process their own waste and create their own energy. People around the world are working to heal the divides caused by racism and classism and build new structures and relationships that emphasize and facilitate equity, justice, and collaboration. We're also remembering and newly learning how gifts from the earth help us to heal and be well, whether that is food that is grown regeneratively, restoratively, such as organic or biodynamic food, or whether it's herbs or other supplements based in the natural world, or whether it's nature connection. Quite a few scientists and health professionals around the world are engaged in evaluating how physical connection with the natural world is very beneficial to human mental health and physical health. Again, we're seeing that our lives truly flourish when the natural world is flourishing and when we are engaged in a rich, respectful, co-creative, collaborative relationship with the natural world. So I'm beginning this podcast for all of us who believe in regenerative transformation and want to be in conversation with one another and want to be receiving cutting edge ideas from people who are really engaged in this regenerative transformation. The Humans and Earth podcast will be bringing you inspiration and practical resources. I will be interviewing experts in environmental restoration and regeneration, not only to give you an idea of what is exciting and new, but also to help you build your own skills. For example, in something like permaculture or home gardening. I will be interviewing wellness experts who emphasize our relationship to the natural world as a very important foundation for our wellness. I will also be interviewing earth-oriented spiritual teachers who are making the connections between our spiritual understanding and practices and our connection to the natural world. Another thing I'll be bringing you in the podcast is podcast speakers sharing their visions for how exciting, beautiful, gorgeous, flourishing, and beneficial life on this planet can be as we step into restorative, regenerative relationships. It is so important to be focusing now on our vision of a healed future. Humans always create what we are believing in, what we are focusing on, and what we are imagining. Whether you consider the process over centuries of giving voting and property rights and the possibility for careers and education to women, whether you look at the abolition of something like child labor or slavery, whether you consider the founding of our democracies or the beginning of our 20th century environmental laws, which of course need to grow, anything that humans have created started with the seed of an idea, grew into a vision that then inspired action. Think about any invention that is interesting to you. The windmill and the fork were developed in the Middle Ages. The eyeglasses are a medieval or early modern invention. You might think about something like solar panels or the train or cars or the bioplastics we're developing that are made from plants and could be fully biodegradable and possibly harmless. Anything that humans create evolves out of our ideas that grow into visions that grow into action. So this is a really crucial time for us to be putting our attention on the contours of the world we want to live in. What would you like the human relationship to Earth to be? What would you like the human relationship to plants and to animals to be? How do you want humans to relate to one another? We will be expressing and cultivating those visions in this podcast. I may also open some groups through social media where we can do that with one another. Now is really a time to imagine and feel into your heart-based vision of a flourishing, healed, regenerative, restorative future for all life on planet Earth. So I welcome you to explore my website, The School for Humans and Earth. It's at humansandearth.com. If you sign up there, you will receive updates when new podcast episodes come out. I am really excited about the speakers who have already agreed to join us. If you sign up at humansandearth.com, you also can access announcements of the e-courses and mentoring that I'm bringing forward. And of course, you can follow Humans and Earth on social media if you would like to be kept informed that way. I will particularly be using Facebook and Instagram. So welcome again to the Humans and Earth podcast. I am so glad you're here. I am excited to co-create and collaborate with you as I bring forth this offering. And I invite you through this podcast and in any of your chosen endeavors to heal Earth and let Earth heal you. Thank you.
Thank you for listening to Humans and Earth. Please share this episode to broaden engagement in the regeneration our world needs. You'll find social media links in the show notes. To explore our other offerings, visit www.humansandearth.com.